In the back corner of an antique shop, hidden between a flower store and a laundromat, Naomi found the portrait. It was smaller than the other paintings crowding the dusty walls. Most showed stern Victorian families, old ships, or landscapes swallowed by fog. But this one was different. The portrait showed an English bulldog sitting beside a fireplace. His coat was brindle and white, his chest broad, his expression strangely calm. A brass tag hung from his collar, engraved with a single year, 1892. The owner of the shop noticed Naomi staring. "Odd painting, isn't it?" the old woman said quietly. "People say the eyes follow you." Naomi laughed softly. "That's every antique portrait. Not like this one." The woman explained the painting had been returned 3 separate times over the years. Some claimed they heard footsteps at night. "Sounds expensive," Naomi joked. "Actually," the woman replied, "I'd rather it belonged to someone kind." But Naomi bought it anyway. Her apartment was small but warm, filled with books, half-watered plants, and soft jazz drifting from an old speaker near the kitchen window. The bulldog portrait ended up hanging beside the hallway leading toward her bedroom. The first night, nothing happened. The second night, she noticed something strange. Around 2 a.m., Naomi woke, needing water. As she stepped into the hallway, she froze. For a brief moment, she could have sworn the bulldog was no longer inside the painting. The chair beside the fireplace sat empty. Naomi blinked. The bulldog immediately appeared back in place. She stared at the portrait for nearly a minute before muttering, "Absolutely not," and returning to bed. After that, little things began happening. When Naomi forgot candles burning, she would return to find them extinguished. When she accidentally left the stove on before work, a neighbor somehow smelled smoke early enough to alert the building. One rainy evening, Naomi slipped halfway down the apartment stairs, carrying groceries. Before she hit the bottom, something heavy shoved against her legs, hard enough to steady her. She looked down instantly. Nothing was there. But later that night, she noticed muddy paw prints leading from the hallway portrait toward the front door. Naomi stopped inviting people over after that, not because she felt afraid, because somehow she didn't. The apartment no longer felt empty at night. Sometimes while reading on the couch, Naomi would catch movement from the corner of her eye, a stocky shadow crossing the hallway. The sound of claws tapping against hardwood floors. By December, Naomi became obsessed with learning where the portrait came from. The answer finally appeared inside an old newspaper archive at the public library. December 18th, 1892. A boarding house fire swallowed part of the city during the middle of the night. According to the article, a firefighter named Elias Whitmoy carried 5 children from the building before collapsing during the final rescue attempt. Beside him, until the end, was his bulldog, Brutus. Witnesses claimed the dog repeatedly ran back into the burning structure, barking, until firefighters realized more children remained trapped upstairs. Naomi stared silently at the grainy newspaper sketch printed beneath the article. Same bulldog, same broad chest, same calm eyes, same brass collar. That night, Naomi returned home slowly. Rain tapped against the apartment windows while amber streetlights glowed through the curtains. For the first time since buying it, the bulldog was no longer facing forward. Instead, Brutus faced slightly toward the hallway leading to her bedroom, as though checking to make sure she made it home safely. Naomi stood there for a long moment before smiling. "Thank you," she whispered. The apartment remained still. But somewhere beyond the soft hum of rain and old pipes, She could have sworn she heard the faint sound of a bulldog snoring peacefully nearby.